Okay, well, welcome to our first chat with the principal. So my name is Mrs. Gomez and I am the principal at Alice Burney Elementary. And my goal with doing this was for me to be able to update you on some of the latest information because the information is changing quickly. And also to allow you the opportunity to ask any questions that you might have. And I'm going to do the best I can to answer them. Bienvenidos a nuestros padres y familias. Soy la señora Gómez, la directora de la escuela. Estoy aquí para darles una información sobre todos los cambios que están ahorita en lugar y también para darles la oportunidad de poder preguntar cualquier pregunta que tengan. So I do want to welcome you once again. I'm going to go ahead and start with our presentation. I have just a few slides that I want to go over, and then we're going to go ahead and open it up for questions because what I really want to do is open this up for you to be able to ask any questions you might have. Our assistant principal, Mrs. Noel, and our office manager, Mrs. Rodriguez, they will be answering any questions you might have in the chat if you want to type any questions, and we'll go ahead and try to answer as many as we can. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with our presentation. Okay, so again, chat with the principal, charla con la directora. And si tienen alguna pregunta, pueden poner en la cajita de chat, pueden escribir su pregunta, o si no, pueden esperar hasta que termine la presentación. Okay, so for today's meeting, I just want to ask that we please keep our microphones on mute. Also, please add your questions in the chat box during the presentation. And then during the question and answer session when I'm done, please type your name in the chat and we will call on you. Para la reunión de hoy, mantenga sus micrófonos en silencio, agregue sus preguntas en el cuadro de chat durante la presentación y durante la sesión de preguntas y respuestas, escriba su nombre en el chat y le llamaremos su nombre y tratar de contestarle sus preguntas. So here's a quick agenda of what I'll be covering today. The schooling option form, just a reminder on that. Talk a little bit about the differences in the distance learning that we had in the spring and what we will be doing in the fall. Just an update on nutrition services, the textbook and Chromebook pickup, when you'll be getting your class assignments, parent portal, and then we'll open it up for questions. So la agenda, vamos a repasar el formulario de opciones de escuela. Voy a hablar un poquito sobre las diferencias de aprendizaje virtual, los servicios de nutrición, cuándo van a poder venir a recoger sus libros de texto y sus computadoras, cuándo van a estar notificados sobre las asignaciones de los maestros, el portal de los padres y después tendremos preguntas y respuestas. So the first thing I want to go ahead and start with is our schooling options. So you should have received an email with a survey for you to choose which option you would like. Deberían de haber recibido un email, un correo electrónico sobre una encuesta sobre cuáles opciones quisiera escoger para su hijo. So if you did not receive that and you have not turned that in, you can just go to the website, to the Alice Burney website or to the Colton Joint Unified School website, and you can find it there. So you'll have three options really. This is the hybrid option, which the first option is when it is safe to do so, whenever that is, you agree that you are okay with your child coming back to school in a modified version, and I'll share a sample schedule. Or you can choose to stay in distance learning. We're all going to start virtually, and you can choose to stay in distance learning for the semester where you don't feel comfortable sending your child back to school for the semester, or you can do home choice, which is basically homeschool. So you would become your child's teacher. So las opciones son híbrido, que son cuando ya no sea peligroso regresar a la escuela. Usted decidía que sus hijos van a regresar 2 días a la semana. Le daremos un schedule para que sepa cómo se miraría. También puede escoger si prefiere que mantener a sus hijos en la casa hasta el fin de semestre, si abrimos más temprano, quedarse en aprendizaje virtual hasta el fin del semestre, o también pueden escoger home choice en donde ustedes se hacen los maestros de sus hijos. So here's a sample hybrid schedule. So when it is safe to do so, this is a sample of what it may look like. So you have your child will either be in cohort A or cohort B. And it could be that on Mondays and Tuesdays, if your child is in group A, your child will come to school Monday and Tuesday, half day. Well, if your child is in cohort B, you'll be learning from home on Monday and Tuesday. All students will be working from home on Wednesday, so the teachers collaborate, there's disinfecting, and then we switch Thursdays and Friday. The B group comes to school and the A group learns from home, okay? So el horario sería así. El primer grupo, el grupo A, venía a la escuela los lunes y los martes, y el grupo B se queda en casa para aprendizaje virtual. Los miércoles todos los alumnos trabajan en casa para que podamos limpiar, los maestros puedan hacer sus planes, y luego el grupo B asiste a la escuela jueves y viernes, y el grupo A se queda en casa. Este es solo una muestra. So remember, this is just a sample. This is not set in stone yet, but this is what it could look like. So for your form, please fill that out so we know what to expect, how many children we expect to have staying in distance learning, and how many children we expect to be coming back to school when it's safe to do so. So I know this is a little bit small, so I apologize, but I wanted to share with you a little difference between what distance learning online looked in the spring and what it's going to look like in the fall. Okay, ahorita les voy a explicar la diferencia entre el aprendizaje virtual, lo que estaba cuando salimos en la primavera, y cómo va a ser cuando regresemos a la escuela. So in the spring, for instruction, the teacher was checking in with kids, making sure everybody was good, and the schedule was pretty flexible. So your child may have been on at different times of the day. In the fall, when we return, it's going to be a lot more structured. So there's going to be daily live lessons. There would be a lot of student and teacher interaction. There will be lots of more independent practice time that students are going to need to do. And we will be able to support your students with language support if they need that. So the purpose back in the spring was just to review any of the learning we had learned for the school year, practice our skills. We weren't really focusing on any new content or any new learning. Now in the fall, we're going to focus on brand new grade level learning. So your child will not have been in this grade level yet. So everything that we teach, we will be reviewing some concepts, but the majority will be focusing on the grade level content. Also, there is a learning plan that has been developed between the teachers and the district, and that will also be shared. Also, we will be actually assessing individual needs. We will be giving students types of tests, types of assessments to know where they are academically. And we are really going to focus also on student wellness, making sure that our kids are emotionally in a good place. And our counselor will be working really closely with us on that. In the spring, the materials that were used basically was either like a Chromebook, computer, or maybe you were doing paper packets. This time in the fall, we'll also be using the Chromebook, but we'll also be sending home the textbooks, the practice books, and then any other board-approved curriculum that we might have. And what was the student responsibility in the spring? They were just checking in. It was very flexible. There were no tests, and there was no grades. Well, things have really changed now. In the fall, everything's going to change. The student is going to be responsible to attend class every day. Teachers will be taking attendance, and the teacher will talk to you more about that once they get to meet your student. And there will be a scheduled school day. There will be scheduled things for the students to follow like a regular school day. There will also be scheduled assessments, meaning there will be exams, there'll be tests that kids will need to take. And yes, they will be getting grades. So it's going to look significantly different. And so I want to assure you that we're working extremely hard to make sure that we give your child the best education possible. And our staff is working extremely hard right now to make sure that they're able to give that. But this is where we need your help and your support, because it is going to take a lot more dedication on the side of the students and the families. Ok, un poquito de las diferencias. En la primavera, los maestros estaban disponibles para los estudiantes y el horario era flexible. En el otoño va a haber un schedule de instrucción, va a haber lecciones todos los días, va a haber tiempo de práctica y también le vamos a poder ayudar con el idioma a los estudiantes que lo necesitan. En la primavera, el propósito era para repasar las cosas que ya habían aprendido en el año y solo para practicar sus habilidades. Cuando regresemos, el contenido se va a enfocar en el nivel de grado, el plan de aprendizaje, ya hay un plan de aprendizaje para los estudiantes. Vamos a evaluar las necesidades de los estudiantes y también el bienestar de los estudiantes. En la primavera, los materiales que usaron los estudiantes fue una computadora o también hicieron paquetes de trabajo. Ya que regresemos, en la otra semana va a ser una computadora. También vamos a mandar sus libros de texto y los libros de práctica, más otras lecciones. Y la responsabilidad del estudiante. Aquí es donde cambia más que nada. En la primavera podían participar en el aprendizaje, era flexible, no tenían ninguna evaluación y no había calificaciones. Ahora que ya vamos a empezar la semana que viene, todos los días tienen que asistir a la clase. Las maestras van a estar tomando nota de quién está en la clase y quién no. También está programado el día escolar. Sí harán exámenes y esta vez ya van a haber calificaciones. ¿Okay? Y es donde necesitamos su ayuda. Okay, so nutrition services. I just wanted to update you. For our grab and go meals will be provided to our children starting I believe the first day of school. I'm not 100% sure, but they are not going to be providing it at every school. Only at our closest school will be Lincoln. So that's where you can go ahead and pick up the meals there. Los servicios de nutrición van a estar empezando a dar los almuerzos de nuevo la otra semana y la escuela más cercana para nosotros va a ser en la escuela Lincoln. Okay, textbooks and Chromebooks. We originally were going to be doing textbooks and Chromebooks for you and your students to come to the school and pick up their textbooks, and any new kindergartners, TK, any new student to our school pick up a computer. Well, we've had a delay in some of the textbooks, some of the practice books coming in, so we'd have to push the textbook and Chromebook pickup until the following Monday and the following Tuesday, which is Monday, August 3rd and Tuesday, August 4th. And you can come anytime between 8:30 to 2:30, meet us at the cafeteria, and we'll make sure that we get you your child's textbooks. Ha cambiado el schedule de venir a recoger sus textos y sus computadoras. Tendremos computadoras para los estudiantes de TK, Kinder y cualquier estudiante que sea nuevo a nuestra escuela. Si ya estuvieron en nuestra escuela, ya deberían de tener su computadora. Tuvimos que cambiar las fechas porque no han llegado todos los textos que estamos esperando, así es que va a ser el lunes 3 de agosto y el martes 4 de agosto. Pueden llegar entre 8:30 de la mañana hasta 2:30 de la tarde en la cafetería. Le vamos a dar sus libros y las computadoras a los que lo necesiten. Okay, so one of the big questions that we're getting, and this goes for our teachers as well as our students, is who is going to be my teacher? And our teachers are asking, who's going to be in my class? Well, it's not finalized yet because things have gotten kind of tricky with the hybrid versus the distance learning. We have to figure out, tomorrow is the deadline for you to decide what you're going to want to do. If you don't turn a survey in, you're automatically going to be put into the hybrid class if we come back when it's safe, right? So that means that it changes some things around with what teachers teach what classrooms. So this is why, one, because we don't have all the surveys in yet. And then two, we also have to hear from some of the teachers. Some of the teachers may have some pre-existing health conditions that does not make it safe for them to return to this class in a hybrid model if we are to return. So we have to work around that. We are, like I said, we're waiting for the results to come in. So we will have to get back to you on class list information. I may not have that information ready until maybe the day before school. And we've never experienced anything like this. So trust me, I know that you're getting anxious. I'm getting anxious. I want to have all this information for you, but I just don't have it because of our circumstances. Las asignaciones de los estudiantes y maestros. He recibido preguntas sobre cuál es el salón de mi estudiante, cómo puedo saber quién va a ser la maestra o el maestro. Pues eso no se ha finalizado porque estamos esperando los resultados del formulario. Entonces, los padres que no llenen la forma para decirnos cuál quisiera de seguir de escuela, si híbrido o virtual, estamos esperando mañana es el último día para entregar eso. Vamos a mandar la información sobre la lista de las clases lo más pronto posible, pero es posible que sea un día anterior. Right now, I don't even have an answer for you as to how we're going to communicate that information because we're still working with our technology department to help us figure that out. But I promise you that we will get you the information. I really just ask for patience and understanding. We're working really, really hard to try to get everybody all the information they need. Les pido que tengan por favor paciencia con nosotros. Estamos trabajando muy duro en tratar de agarrar toda la información para ustedes, pero ya se imaginan con tanto cambio, con tantas cosas que nunca hemos tenido esta situación, las cosas están cambiando rápido y hay mucha información que procesar. There is one thing that I would like for you to keep in mind. So that's our parent portal. And we are waiting for a flyer and more information from our technology department to give us so that you can fill out. But this is going to be the best place for you to find out anything about your child. The teacher, their grades, all of that information is going to be part of Parent Portal. And it's going to be an app, basically. You will need an email. It's required. And we'll be sending more information soon. So if we do not have your email, I would say, please, please, please call us at the school, email me, and we will update the information so you don't miss out on anything. La mejor manera de agarrar información para este estudiante es el portal de los padres. Allí es donde pueden encontrar quién va a ser la maestra, cuántas ausencias tienen, pueden también saber las calificaciones, pero se requiere un correo electrónico y si no lo tenemos, favor de llamar a la escuela para que podamos ponerlos en nuestros records. Okay, so that's all I have in terms of the presentation. I did not want to make this a very long presentation. I wanted to just kind of give you an overview of what we were going to cover. And this is where I want to open up the questions for anybody that might have a question. Eso es toda la presentación que tengo. So, lo que necesito, lo que quisiera hacer es abrirle ahorita para que tratar de preguntar cualquier pregunta que tengan y mi secretaria está tomando notas también. So my office manager will also be taking notes if there is a question that I do not have an answer for. So I will stop sharing. If you have a question, you can go ahead and just type your name in the chat and then we'll go ahead and call on you. And let's see. So I have a question right now saying, let me read it to myself. Okay, so the question is, how do I know where to fill out whether I want hybrid or virtual learning? So that is on the school website. So pueden ir a la página de red del distrito. Pueden hacer el search. Can one of you ladies type that into the chat for me, the website? That'd be great. Le van a poner ahí la página de red para que pueda abrirlo allí. Okay. Any other questions that I can answer? Okay. Let's see. All right, let's see. I see a question. Let me just take a second to read it. Okay, this is a very good question. So the question is, when we return to hybrid, when it is safe to do so, will the parents have the option to choose option A or B, or is this assigned by the school? That's a great question. That actually is assigned by the district. The district assigned, put all of our kids in either A or B, depend by, I don't know if they did it by like street, but they did it by address, I believe. So that in the event that you have more than one child, you obviously don't want one child to be in A and one child to be in B, right? You want them to be in the same cohort or the same group. So they have already done that for us. I'm not 100% sure how they made but it was by zone, like by area. So that, but you would know which one it is. Okay. La pregunta fue si van a tener la opción para escoger grupo A o grupo E, ya que regresemos a híbrido. Y no, la escuela, el distrito ya hizo esas determinaciones basado en sus direcciones. Así es que si viven en una calle, vamos a decir la calle Holly, todos los niños de la calle Holly van a ser, vamos a decir, grupo A. Por ejemplo. So for example, this also, the reason why they did that as well is if you have kids in the elementary, middle, and the high school, you don't want, if you have an elementary student and a high schooler and a middle schooler, you don't want one in A and one in B. That would kind of be a mess, right? So they're going to try to keep all your children in the same one to make it easier for you. So, por ejemplo, si tienen estudiantes en la secundaria, también se les hace más fácil para usted. No tener un niño que vaya en grupo A y otro en grupo B. Very good questions. Other questions you might have? Okay, so the question is, do I have the hybrid schedule? Yeah, example, half day or full day. So it would be a minimum day. So let's just say that your child is assigned to group A. They would most likely come Monday and Tuesday, minimum day. Wednesday, everyone learns virtually. And then Thursday and Friday, your child would be home like a virtual distance learning. And then Thursday and Friday, the next group would come. So they would swap. Que la pregunta era si ya tenemos el schedule de híbrido. No lo tenemos 100%, pero va a ser 2 días a la semana, mitad de día. Let's see, how many hours will students have to be logged on? Okay, so good question. So we will be, for sure, we have 1 hour of live interaction, plus they do have assignments that they will be responsible for. Now, we understand, trust me, I know, I'm a parent. So we understand that the time that is assigned, the live time that is assigned, that the teacher assigns for your student may not work for your student, right? Because you might be working or they're at the childcare. There's so many different things that can affect that. So what I would say is they just need to participate. We are going to highly encourage for them to show up, but it's at least a minimum of 1 hour live, but they have quite a bit of work that they need to accomplish in the day. So la pregunta era, ¿cuántas horas tienen que estar en la computadora? Por lo menos 1 hora con la maestra, y luego la maestra le va a dar información sobre los otros trabajos que tienen que hacer. Because that's how the teachers will also, that'll be part of how they take attendance. There's other ways, but that's going to be the main way. Let's see. The question is, what if I decide to change scheduling option later on? Great question. La pregunta es, ¿qué si decido después de que, vamos a decir, si regresamos a la escuela y decir, oh no, mejor quiero que se queden en la casa, o viceversa? So, yes, that could happen, but here's the thing. We want you to try to make the decision now because, for example, if your child if you end up wanting to have your child stay at home for 100% virtual, but they start with a teacher that is first virtual, but then that teacher is going to be coming back to hybrid, we would have to change your child's teacher to a different teacher that is the distance learning teacher. And that's what we do not want. We do not want to have to pull move kids around halfway through, if let's just say if we were to return. So if you start with if you choose distance learning, your child will start with a distance learning teacher, and then they will continue with that teacher until the end of the semester, until the end of the school year. So, si quieren cambiar después, les sugerimos que hagan por lo menos un semestre, porque si no, por ejemplo, si quieren si quieren quedar en la casa después de que abramos la escuela, vamos a tener que cambiarle la maestra de sus hijos y preferimos no cambiarle. Okay. Let's see. So during virtual, you will have that option. Okay. 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 I hope I answered that question. Okay. Other questions? This is your chance to ask the questions that you might have. What I'm going to try to do is every week I'm going to try to set a meeting up like this just to open it up, because I'm sure that every week there's going to be new information. And this will also, for the first few weeks of school, I want to make myself available to answer any questions for parents that you might have. So, cada semana voy a tener una junta de estas para darles cualquier nueva información y para estar disponibles para ustedes si tienen alguna pregunta. Any other questions? Let's see. When will they disinfect for Monday and Tuesday? Oh, great question. So we haven't talked through the logistics of all that, but definitely, so because it'll be a minimum day, so the goal would be Friday afternoon, the cleaning crew comes through and gets right. That's why we have to have minimum days, because we have to have time in the afternoon to disinfect, even from like Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Wednesday, every day needs disinfecting. So we will make sure that whole Friday afternoon, that it's disinfected and clean and ready for the new group on Monday. Definitely. So la pregunta es cuándo van a desinfectar para el grupo que empiece el lunes o martes. Y por eso tenemos que tener días mínimos para que los que limpien puedan tener tiempo en las tardes para poder desinfectar y limpiar de día a día. You guys are having some really great questions. Oh, I'm glad I've been able to answer most of them. Okay, so I guess what I'll do is I'll stay on for maybe another 5 minutes for anybody who might want to, ask me a question either live or just type it in. You're more than welcome to unmute yourself and ask a question if you'd like, or if you wanted to clarify anything. Other than that, I guess that's all we have for you. Voy a quedarme unos 5 minutos más. Si alguien tiene alguna pregunta, si quieren preguntarme, pueden quitar sus micrófonos y puedo hablar con ustedes si tienen alguna pregunta específica. And I will send out another notice for next week's meeting. If there's any new information, I'll just let you know, like nothing has really changed, or yes, something changed. And then if you have any questions then, you can ask them then. But of course, you can always email me. So I'm going to go ahead and put my email. Okay, so you can always email me there as well. And Mrs. Noel, if you can type yours in, and then Mrs. Rodriguez, if you can type your email in also, that would be helpful. So cualquier de las tres nos pueden mandar, enviar un correo electrónico, les podemos ayudar con cualquier pregunta que tengan. Thank you, families and staff that is here. Appreciate you being here. And again, like I said, if you have any other questions, you know where to reach us. I'll stay on for another 5 minutes or so, and I'll see you next week or sometime.
Guys.